I've had that privilege of always having technology around in my life and always having access to the internet, except for a good spell in undergrad where I just straight up didn't have internet because I couldn't afford it. Didn't have TV either. Just listened to a lot of radio. So Wise Shanks shared Antiwork and said, "Have you heard of this?" And yes, I have. And thank you for sharing it because I want to talk about it in this episode. Antiwork. I'm just going to scroll around on this subreddit for this episode and just sort of give you a picture of what this is about. I will say right off the bat, although the subreddit is called Antiwork, it's not necessarily anti-work necessarily. It's more about, well, essentially stuff socialists talk about, stuff Marx talks about. And it's interesting to see a lot of people come into anti-work, even like self-declared socialists, well, there are a lot of socialists, but self-declared conservatives who are like, well, I'm not about socialism or anything, but I'm all about what this website is about. And that's the fucking trick. And I think that's a brilliant thing about this subreddit is that it is the ethos has detached itself, quote unquote, at least in terms of presentation, in terms of marketing and labeling, branding. That's the word I'm looking for. In terms of branding, Antiwork is, quote unquote, separate from Marxist critical analyses and solutions to contradictions of capitalism. It presents those things, but it doesn't say straight up, oh, we're socialist, we're Marxist, or anything like that. Just the whole ethos. It is that. It is helping people who would otherwise be turned off by the label of Marxism or socialism or communism or anarchism. People who would be turned off or spooked by those labels are not spooked by the label of anti-work. And since they don't have their guard up against the goddamn Marxists, the cultural Marxists, since they don't have their guards up, they are more willing to accept the messages and the philosophies and the solutions offered in anti-work. Little do they know. I mean, they find out, but little do they know as they're coming in and buying into this stuff and being like, yo, I've been saying this for years, or, oh, this is a good point. Little do they know, they're agreeing with Marxist ideas. Dun, dun, dun.